Okay, so here's the story. I've got my cooked, boiled potatoes and cooled, and then I just chopped them in half, let them come up to room temperature. So this is what I have. So these are smallish potatoes. Just simply cut them in half. I've got about a teaspoon, depending on how much olive oil you want to use, doesn't matter. And I have a fabulous nonstick pan, medium to medium high heat. And all I do is I put these potatoes in, face down, in that oil. Just like that. You can slice these thinner if you like. Me, I'm not too particular. So, I just leave them big. And what's going to happen is the potatoes are going to absorb some of that oil, which is fine. Let me move these around a little bit. There we go. And I have a really good quality olive oil. Thank you, Amu and Gus, dear friends of mine up in Prescott. They come by every once in a while, and every time they come over they bring me these wonderful little gifts. And they got me this olive oil. I can smell the wonderful pepperiness of the absolute fresh press that oil comes from. So again, medium high heat, and I'm going to let this cook for a little while. So this is going to come up. So the idea here is that the potatoes are already cooked. So if you like hash browns, home fries, those kinds of things, and it's real easy to boil a big pot of potatoes. Do it at night, in the morning. If it's going to be a hot day, you don't want to turn the oven on, or you don't want to turn the stove on for too long or anything else. So just boil a big pot of potatoes. Stick them in the fridge. Again, let them come up to room temperature, and it's pretty simple. That's it. Chop them in half. If you want to, you can cube them, put them in there, but for what I like, I just want the big, broad, flat face, fried, nice, and done. And what I'm going to do when I come back is these will be nearly complete, because this is going to take a little while to cook. Depending on the heat you have and how much oil you put in there, you do need oil. You don't want, if you're using a non-stick pan, it's fine, but you do need to put oil in there that transfers the heat to the potato, and it gives it that nice golden brown face. So again, you don't need that much. You don't want to use butter. Maybe at the end you want to finish with a little butter for the flavor, but you want to use a good olive oil. If you want to be risky, you can get that flavorless coconut oil. You can do something like that, or if you have some bacon grease, you can put this in bacon grease and do the same thing. But when I come back, these potatoes will be nearly done, and before they're done, I'm going to do something, and that something is a hint with garlic. Anyway, see you in a minute. Okay, so all I've done so far is I let the potatoes cook, and I'll show you what they look like, and I rough chopped some garlic, just a couple of cloves, and put it in there. And I'm going to do this near the end, and the reason why I want to do it near the end is I don't want the garlic to burn. Another thing you can do is you can put the garlic in first and then pull it out and put it back in once the potatoes are nearly complete. So what the potatoes look like now at this point is you can see they got a nice deep rich color, and I'll show you another one. Really deep rich color. Again, you can slice these a little bit thinner if you want more of that sort of caramelized looking sort of flavor off of them. And all I do at this point is, once I get the garlic chopped up, I just basically start piling the potatoes on top of that garlic and let the potatoes cook, let the garlic cook, and what happens is the flavor sort of permeates those potatoes. Big fan of garlic over here. And so you want to pay close attention to this, because you don't want the garlic to burn. You want it to brown, and it'll burn quickly if you're not cautious. So these potatoes are basically done. So this part of this process does not take that long. As you can see, the garlic itself is starting to get nice and brown. So there we go. Just go ahead and flip the garlic out. There we are. Again, pay close attention to what's going on with that garlic. Otherwise, you may burn it. And if you don't mind burnt garlic, hey, go for it. But these guys are beautifully done. There you go. Now again, you can start out with potatoes on the back side, get a little heat on that side if you'd like. Me personally, like I said, it doesn't really bother me that much. Since these are already boiled, there you go, you can see what they look like. They're already cooked, they're already room temperature, so the heat's going to basically blast through those potatoes pretty quick. Now we have a nice semi-crispy face. At this point, after I turn the video off, I'm just going to make myself up a couple of eggs, throw them on top, and enjoy. So, real simple. Cooked, boiled potatoes, throw them in the fridge, let them cool off, bring them out, room temperature, cut them in half or cube them, however you want to. Again, I'm kind of lazy. About a teaspoon of olive oil in a nice nonstick pan. You can put the garlic in first to infuse that oil with that garlic. Pull the garlic out if you like. I just do it at the end because I'm lazy. Put the potatoes in, let them brown. Once they're near complete, I just simply split some garlic up, lower the heat a little bit, put it in, mix it in with potatoes a bit. You have a nice, very flavorful dish.